This video is going to cover the topic of images and some of the main issues that are involved using images. So what I'm going to show you is 1, copy an image from the internet, 2, inserting an image from a previous saved location, 3, placing an image in the text, 4, formatting an image, and we'll look at items like color, correction, shadows, and resizing. Then 5, wrapping text around the image. 6, using the snipping tool to create an image from a screen. And then 7, creating some columns and section breaks and then putting images in the column areas. I'm going to use this URL and go to the History channel, which I previously have loaded, and then I'm going to come over here to the pictures and choose one of their galleries. From that gallery then, I'm going to slide down and then look at the different images, and when I get to an image that I want to choose, so I'm going to choose this particular image. Then because I'm on an IBM or a PC, then I can right click and then either copy the image or save. If I copy the image, it only puts it in memory, so we can do it that way. So I can click on it, it's now in memory. I can use my Alt-Tab key to go back to my text, and I can either use the paste key, or you'll notice that you can use Control+V. Because our cursor was at the T before the image will insert at that location. If it's full screen, it will push the text to the next line. I'm going to go back and get another image. So we'll click here and get a second image. I'm going to right click and then say Save Image As. And for this, I'm going to just save it to a location. So I'm going to use my desktop, and I had made a folder already that said Vietnam Images. And I will save the image in that location. Now I'll go back to my text. I'm going to arrow down a little bit and put that image in here at a lower area, doing it an insert way. So insert, then go over to pictures, go to pictures. Now I can go to desktop, go to traverse to my folder, which is Vietnam Images, and then click on that image and insert it. Alright, 2 different ways. I would suggest that you do both, that you first save the image, then you can copy and paste it in. You will always then have the original image that you can go back to. So I'll come back to this image now, and what we're going to do is we're going to place it in the text. So I had simply clicked in a specific area, hit my paste, and the image was now pasted at that location. So there's a little invisible marker holding it in that place. I can now resize this image by clicking on it, and you'll notice all the little handles that come around. If you use the corner ones and slide in, it will keep the proportions. I also like to, up at the top, you'll notice here in the picture tools, that is what's called a contextual tab, that whenever you have an object selected and then get that extra tab, it knows that you're working with the picture and then gives you a different set of selections that you can choose from. With that picture, I like putting a little bit of a shadow around it, so I use this almost extensively to make it look a little bit nicer. If this image was selected, and again I go to my contextual, go to my contextual tab, I click twice, we don't want to do that. Then I can also change the color, and you can use this to your advantage to make something look old, right? To give it a certain coloration to it, change the color tone. Another issue is that I can go to color correction, and now I can make this lighter or darker. And because this is in real time, you can pick and choose based on which one you think is the one that you want. Now that I've done that much, I've decided that I want to put this image to the right, because at this point the text has not wrapped around the image. So I will go to over here to the right hand side of my ribbon up in the Arrange group. I will go through and choose Tight. When I choose Tight, now I can move this and the text will wrap itself around. I don't like putting it in the middle because the text goes across. It doesn't go down the left side then down the right side. You have to read across. I just don't think that that's a good concept. So I'll move it over here to the right, and at this point I can move this picture anywhere I want in the text. Once I have the image where I want it, then I can simply click outside of the image and then continue with any of my editing. I'm going to show you another way that you can get an image, so I'm going to go back to my web page, and what you may want is, instead of a single image, you may want all the different pixels that are lit up on the screen. So let me do a quick demo with you here. I'm going to go to my Start menu, and on my Start menu the snipping tool is already there. If not, then I can go to All Programs, go to Accessories, and then the snipping tool will be one of my choices. What happens is the whole screen will turn lighter. The snipping tool here is saying that I'm ready to get a new snip, and I'm going to go get the history logo, and you'll notice now that it turns up in its original color, showing me that that's what it's going to snip. And at that point I have now pulled those pixels. I can either copy those and put them into memory, or I can also do File, do a Save As, and save this again to my file location where I'm putting all my project images. So I'm going to call this the History Channel logo. Okay. Now I can go back to my History Channel to my document, and wherever it seems relevant, then I can put in my History Channel logo. I've put this in memory, so now I can hit Control V. Again, I can put a border around this. I can go to my page layout that I want it tight, and then I'm going to slide it over here to the side, take my other image and move it a little bit down and make this look nice. Okay, there's a couple of other quick items I'd like to show you, and I'd like to put this in columns, put an image in, and you can see how it wraps. So I'm going to get rid of, to make this just a little simpler, I'm going to get rid of my history logo, and then I'm going to put into columns, but really what I want to do is leave this top part alone. I'm just going to choose the text, and I'll just choose this much because that'll be enough to get the point across. Then I'll go to Page Layout, click the Page Layout tab, go to Columns, and set this up as 2. Now you'll notice that the top stayed solid because by putting in a column I have just put in a different section. So if we look down below, all of that is in one column. If I look up above, I'm in 2 columns, and this little Vietnam War history and that hyperlink are also in a single column because I started my highlighting at this location. Now I can take my image, I'm going to make it a little bit smaller, I'm going to slide over here and put it in the middle, and now I've made a nice looking page.